Can counsel on this side be heard? Yes. Counsel on that side appears to be taking the whole afternoon. Please.
Just speak, Mr. Mute, if you want to be heard, just speak.
My Lord, I'm asking for equity of words. Accord time to counsel on this side to address the court.
You also just stand and speak.
My Lord. Yes. My Lord, I think for purposes of clarity, yesterday, when we started hearing on the issue of validity of the bench, which has now been discussed by the ruling you've read, the question that we wanted was the application for the validity plus the issue to do with the recusal be heard together. The understanding of the court and ourselves was that they cannot be dealt with together. So that the second preliminary issues after the issue of the validity of the bench has been disposed of are the three pending, are they three? Actually, I know I'm about to. Three applications for recusal. Those are preliminary issues and they relate to the same consolidated matters that this court has given a ruling on. That is issue number one. Issue number two, my Lord, that is important to be noted. Yes, the consolidated file that is before you has that applications for recusal. That's what my learned colleague is emphasizing. So the second business of the court was supposed to be that one. But more importantly, my Lord, so that we do not want to hear these accusations about, oh, somebody is trying to delay this matter. We are the victim, and I reiterate that. For purposes of the petitions before you, we would like this petition heard as of yesterday. And we kept on saying yesterday, the petitions to be heard. My Lord, these rules, because it's the enforcement of the constitutions, the Mutunga rules applies. Since the Mutunga rules applies, the applications of the Mutunga rules was everybody was supposed to respond even to the petition to get the matters rolling. There have been no compliance with Mutunga rules for purposes of the respondent. So that if anybody was to be accused of any delay, it would be somebody who has not complied with the Mutunga rules. That is issue number one. Issue number two, my Lord, was this, that even for purposes of consolidation, the consolidated matters, some of the advocates led by my colleague, Ms. Kimotho, they were not even served with the applications that the respondents are itching to have them disposed of. So that, my Lord, because of that mess that was created as of yesterday, and the fact that we do have now a notice talking about these matters, the truth of the matter is, unless we have a situations where some of the advocates in the four matters that were not there yesterday have not even been served with this notice, and I know them. So that unless now we take a fresh date without somebody waiting to say that, oh, this court must discharge orders and we have a swearing in over the weekend, the truth of the matter is we need a clear date where the court ensures everybody who ought to be before you, particularly based on these issues that has been raised courtesy of correspondence with the Chief Justice, is addressed. But somebody to pretend, oh, I want to lift the conservatory order and the other side is delaying, it is unfair. We want the petition heard, and it starts with compliance with the Mutunga rules, which there is no compliance whatsoever by the respondents. So that, my Lord, I beg you that let us not appear now to be saying, oh, somebody is playing to the gallery. Nobody is playing to the gallery. We just want to assert everybody's rights. And these rights are very easy to enforce if the Mutunga rules are going to guide these proceedings. My Lord, I beg you to have the enforcement of that.
Your Lordship, I had just wanted to highlight the content of the notice which we received. And Your Lordship, Your Lordship, the question that was raised.
I will talk about that before you speak.
My Lord, do I have your permission to address the court?
Even if the court wants to talk to you,
The judge is
supposed to talk. Dr. Camilo, let me address the issue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I apologize. Sorry. I apologize.
I think we have made it very clear in the ruling which we have just delivered that the matters before this court are very important to the people of this republic. And you will appreciate that petitions are still being filed throughout Kenya. When we retired yesterday, we received several empanelment of matters of which we gave this notice. Therefore, don't think you are the only person who are in these petitions. There are also other Kenyans who are coming day in, night out. So the matters which you've set out for mention are the matters in which we have been empaneled as from yesterday. So you wait for court to give directions, then you start talking. You cannot just start talking from the air without facts. Let us mention these files first, then from there you'll see the directions emerging, and then you can make your prayers. Let's mention these files first. The other clarification is that we have two cohorts of petitions which have been consolidated. The first cohort were the petitions which were filed to challenge the processes both in Parliament, yes. And during that time, this bench consolidated 6 petitions, with the lead petition being 522 of 2024. Is that correct? That petition, number 522 of 2024, is the lead file in the petitions which were filed before the finalization of the matters in the Senate. Then, after the proceedings in the Senate, other petitions were filed. And with you, we consolidated all those petitions yesterday. So we have 2 running parallel petitions before the Senate proceedings and after the Senate proceedings. You will remember that petition number 522 was, we listed it for a mention on 29th of this month. But because of need to know, because I know there could be cross-cutting representation in these petitions, we decided just to call it because we knew that all of you will be here, so that if there's anything you want to say on those petitions, you can say it. So that's the reason why we have petition 522 here for a mention. There's nothing to be mentioned, but we said since parties are likely to be here, and some of the parties were even asking for it yesterday, so we brought it. But the other petitions to be mentioned are specific petitions where we have been empaneled. And we wanted to find out the way forward, whether we can consolidate these petitions or whether they can be done separately. So these are petitions number, let's mention petition number 570 of 2024, ADVERTISE and Victor Gatia. Yes, this petition.
Yes. My Lord,
Let's unmute.
yes.
Yes.
My Lord, in this petition, this one was filed by the law firm of, I believe, Mutembei and Maret, called what? Mutembei, Geshoro and company advocates. I am aware of this petition for the simple reason that he had requested me that when it comes to the hearing, I appear alongside him. Mr. Mutembei Marete. My Lord, the parties are many, starting with the first respondent, I think is President Ruto. Regarding Gachagua'S is the second respondent, and there are others. My Lord, for purposes of this petition, it was filed on Friday, and by Judge Mamuye, referred it to the Honorable Chief Justice, and we expected it to be coming tomorrow on Thursday. My Lord, Mr. Mutembei was not served with this particular notice that is before you.
Actually, nobody was served. We sent out the notice in the morning today.
Yes.
We received them in the morning. And that's why I said that this matter is people coming.
Yes.
And because the representation is likely to be across, we
Yes.
mentioned them because we thought we would find people like you waiting for them.
Waiting for them, yeah.
Yes.
So that, my Lord, in that case, what I would ask the court, and for the additional reason that I am aware that in that matter, the notice of motion is seeking a 5-judge bench, and particularly for the reason that this is an application by the citizens of Central Kenya who says, like in the year 2013, that their rights, not just regarding Gachagua, would have been affected adversely by the impeachment of the Deputy President Gachagua, and therefore I would ask that this matter do come tomorrow so that the issue on that issues of empanelment and in the presence of Mr. Mutembei can be dealt with. Because now that it is obvious that even the direct, like the advocates who filed the case are not here, it would only be fair that there is another mention where they can also be there. Actually, we didn't even have the file. We are just looking at it from our record. But that is the position as far as 570 is concerned. It's a specific application for a 5-judge bench in that matter.
Mr. Kibe.
Yes, my Lord.
We are beyond that. There was a request for a 5-judge bench.
Yes, my Lord.
But what has been empaneled is a 3-judge bench,
Yes.
comprising Justice Eric Ogola, Justice Mrima, and Honorable Dr. Justice Freda Mugambi. So the request for a 5-judge bench, I think, is overtaken by events unless he wants to appeal.
Yes. The chances of appeal are very high. For the simple reasons, my Lord, that will become apparent. I believe there must be some mechanical applications to the issues, but now that it arises specifically, that issue will be addressed, and the Chief Justice will have the relevant communications tomorrow morning, while given the nature of the issue that must be dealt with, there must be a 5-judge matter. All benches can be expanded. I believe that is the positions that we are coming from. So without saying specifically that we don't want anyone, all benches are capable of being expanded, particularly bearing in mind, and this is something that a number of the clients that already we are representing, there have been repeated insinuations by our people out there, including Senior Counsel Abdel Abdullahi, that the senior bench is supposed, the 3-judge bench is supposed to do this or the other. We can't help that. This is not coming from the petition.
What we'll do is on behind is that we'll mention this matter tomorrow.
I'll appreciate. What time, my Lord?
At 9.
Most of them. Because it was granted. It was granted.
My Lord, in this,
most of the people actually here, we had served them, but we shall serve the notice of hearing. The notice of hearing for the mention tomorrow at 9. I thought, my Lord, the time would have been immediate. Because by the time I go to my office, there will be nobody to do some of this. So probably 11.
You know, but the time we spend here means that even if you come at 10, you'll find us here.
my Lord,
My Lord, what time then do we come tomorrow?
The court starts at 9.
Yes.
You can come at 11.
11, multiply.
my Lord, I am asking, please, in this particular file, that you record my presence together with the other lawyers I mentioned earlier as appearing for the Deputy President who is the second respondent.
This one?
Yes.
The verified?
Yes.
If you stand up, we shall not take.
No. My Lord, patiently wait.
This matter of 570.
Yes. If you look at the parties, the Deputy President is the second respondent.
So you agree with the directions which you have given?
I accept directions of the court. And I will be here tomorrow at 11. Inshallah.